going, frankly, better than I expected that they were. This is a very, very tough situation. You have two peoples, two enemies who have fought a very tough conflict against each other. You have a terrorist organization on one hand that murdered a lot of innocent people. You've got an Israeli army that was defending itself on the other that has learned a lot over the past couple of years. And, of course, you have an innocent civilian population in Gaza that's caught in the middle. But we're here at the Civilian Military Cooperation Center, which we are announcing the opening of. You have Israelis and Americans working hand in hand to try to begin the plan to rebuild Gaza, to implement a long-term peace, and to actually ensure that you have security forces on the ground in Gaza, not composed of Americans, who can keep the peace over the long term. So we've got a lot of work left to do. This is going to take a very, very long time, but I think Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, and Admiral Cooper behind me have done an incredible job. I want to say just a couple of quick things, and then I want to turn it over to Steve Witkoff. Number one, the Israeli government has been remarkably helpful in this. I want to thank them, thank our Israeli partners, and all the folks particularly who are working hand in hand with their American friends here at the CMCC. And number two, I want to say that there is this weird attitude I've sensed in the American media and the Western media where there's almost this desire to root for failure, that every time something bad happens, that every time that there's an act of violence, there's this inclination to say, oh, this is the end of the ceasefire, this is the end of the peace plan. It's not the end. It is, in fact, exactly how this is going to have to happen when you have people who hate each other, who have been fighting against each other for a very long time. We are doing very well. We are in a very good place. We're going to have to keep working on it, but I think we have the team to do exactly that. So with all thanks to our partners, both in Israel, but all across the Gulf Arab states, Indonesia, the Turks, we are doing an amazing thing here, and I'm particularly proud of the American troops working at the command center who are coordinating this effort and making it possible. So with that, I want to thank Ambassador Steve Witkoff and turn it over to him to say a few things, and after everybody's said a few words, we'll take some questions. Thank you, guys. Steve?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. We're really proud of what's happened here. It's an amazing effort. It's a great coordination between our partners. We have a great team. Signing this deal up was a challenge in and of itself, but the implementation, that's where it really is going to be the most important. And I think we are exceeding where we thought we would be at this time. I think the Vice President has come out here. He sees that. The Secretary of State will be out here. I can't tell you what a privilege it is to work with the team that we have, with Jared, who's extraordinary, the President, of course, and the Vice President, and Admiral Cooper. I would also say this. We're learning so much here. This CMCC that we're setting up now, this is going to be used in other conflicts as we figure out all the intricacies of how to modulate a peace deal, go from war to peace. Lastly, in closing, I want to speak about the morning that me and Jared had. We met with 10 hostages and their families, and it was really an emotional moment. And I felt blessed to be in that room. Lots of tears, lots of people really, really grateful to President Trump for getting their children home, and you, of course, Mr. Vice President. And I want to observe that I didn't see any victims in that room. I saw strong people who have come out under very difficult circumstances. Their families are reunited, and they are so grateful. And it was just my privilege as an American to be there. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Jared?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Thank you, Steve. First of all, we really appreciate your visit here. It's given a great boost of energy to everyone here, and your support through this whole effort has been really tremendous. What you've seen here today is really the opening of the CMCC. This has been something that's been envisioned by CENTCOM. Admiral Cooper will speak about that in a bit. But we always knew that the deal that we were working on would kind of have two phases to it. The first phase was obviously getting the live hostages out. We're currently making progress on the hostages, the bodies that are still there. I think almost half are out now, and we had very good meetings with the Israelis. I know the Vice President's here to put a lot of effort into that today to hopefully make sure we can complete that mission in phase 2. At the same time, the humanitarian aid, there's actually been surprisingly strong coordination between the United Nations and Israel, which is something that we've been able to help synthesize, get each other to air their concerns and to find out how we can do it better so that the aid reaches the people in Gaza and doesn't go into the wrong hands there. Finally, I'll say that there has already been a lot of efforts over the last years by really concerned people to think about what happens next in Gaza. And there's a lot of great things happening here. More will be released in the coming days. But the most important thing here is to figure out how you really get a good deconfliction coordination center. This really has been a startup. There's been a lot that's been done. It's amazing to think it's only been a week. But I actually, with the pace of work and the commitment of everybody, I think in a week from now you'll see even more progress. I want to echo what the Vice President said about how a lot of people are getting a little hysterical about different incursions one way or the other, but what we are seeing is that things are going in accordance. Both sides are transitioning from 2 years of very intense warfare to now a peacetime posture, and really thanks to Admiral Cooper, CENTCOM, and the CMCC to try to build that deconfliction mechanism in order to make sure that we can get to a proper de-escalation. We have some flags that we put up here. This is not fully representative of the countries that are here. It's happening very rapidly, that people are agreeing to come on board, agreeing to help. People really want to be a part of this, and it's just happening very, very quickly. So we'll try to continue to give the updates as it progresses, but really just thank you to the entire team here who's made all this possible. It's been a lot of sleepless nights, around the clock effort, and it's really been great coordination because everyone believes that it is possible to create something better in Gaza, and we have to believe it, we have to work hard for it, and if we all work hard to do that, then I do believe a great outcome is possible.
Thanks, Chair. Admiral?
Well, Mr. Vice President, thank you for joining us here today at the CMCC. Consistent with our Commander-in-Chief's direction, this facility will be the hub for the delivery of everything that goes into Gaza as we look to the future, delivering on the Commander-in-Chief's commitments. 200 of America's sons and daughters who wear the cloth of the nation have stepped up and are serving here. I just couldn't be prouder, and I know that you are as well. Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks, Admiral. And gentlemen, we'll take a few questions now. Sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister, I want to ask about the Turkish one. It's very concerning for Israelis. Turkey obviously has been a supporter of Hamas. What role will they have, and will they have troops that will be on the ground here or in the Gaza Strip?
Well, I think first of all, what troops are on the ground in Israel is going to be a question the Israelis have to agree to, and I'm sure that Prime Minister Netanyahu will have opinions about that, but we think everybody has a role to play here. Some of that's going to be financial, some of that's going to be in reconstruction, some of that's just in communication with the various parties to ensure that this deconfliction process actually works and is implemented. We're not going to force anything on our Israeli friends when it comes to foreign troops on their soil, but we do think that there's a constructive role for the Turks to play, and frankly, they've already played a very constructive role. We're very grateful for that. And you asked, they've supported Hamas in the past. No one who is a party to this conflict can look in the past and not point at something that they don't like or that they disagree with. Everybody who's been involved in this conflict can point at one other person, one of these flags can point at another flag and say, we hate that person for various reasons. The way that we're going to get to peace is to focus on the future, which is what the President of the United States has asked us to do, and we think everybody here is very willing to do that and is very eager to engage in that effort. Ma'am. Well, Jared's the investor here. I'm not going to give you a percentage, but look, what we've seen the past week gives me great optimism the ceasefire is going to hold. And if we get from where we were a week ago to a long-term, durable peace between Israel and Gaza, there are going to be hills and valleys. There are going to be moments where it looks like things aren't going particularly well. But given that, and given the history of conflict, I think that everybody should be proud of where we are today. It's going to require constant effort. It's going to require constant monitoring and supervision. That's part of the reason that Admiral Cooper and his team is here, is to mediate these disputes, to mediate these disagreements as they come up. But look, right now, I feel very optimistic. Can I say with 100% certainty that it's going to work? No. But you don't do difficult things by only doing what's 100% certain. You do difficult things by trying, and that's what the President of the United States has asked us to do. Sir.
Bueno, pues dejamos de escuchar momentáneamente al vicepresidente de los Estados Unidos, Vance, que se encuentra en Israel, para hablar sobre el acuerdo de paz alcanzado por parte de Hamás, de Israel y de los Estados Unidos. Bueno, pues porque tenemos que contarles una noticia de última hora que da de lleno a nivel nacional, y es que Yolanda Díaz, bueno, pues la vicepresidenta segunda del Gobierno en el Senado, ha sufrido un lapsus. Como van a ver a continuación, ha dicho que da gobierno de corrupción para rato cuando hablaba en el Senado. Vean ustedes el momento.
Señora García, queda gobierno de corrupción para rato. Sigan así, que no llegarán de corrupción para rato. Sigan así y no gobernarán jamás.
Pues la frase de Yolanda Díaz, la vicepresidenta segunda del Gobierno, que este martes ha realizado esa declaración, ese lapsus, ha tenido ese lapsus en el Senado, y esta declaración ha provocado una inmediata reacción en la bancada por parte del Partido Popular, como ustedes han visto, cuyos senadores han estallado en carcajadas y sobre todo con aplausos irónicos hacia la vicepresidenta segunda del Gobierno. Bueno, pues nosotros, aparte de esta última hora llamativa a nivel nacional, volvemos de nuevo a escuchar al vicepresidente de los Estados Unidos, Vance.
Could you speak up? Thank you. Well, the incentives are that unless Hamas disarms in accordance with the agreement, very bad things are going to happen, right? And also the incentive is that if they disarm, there is a better future for everybody on the other side of it. But in terms of the International Security Force, Steve and Jared, Admiral Cooper, are working on that very issue right now. Remember, this peace deal was struck under the president's leadership literally a week ago. The hostages were returned, what, 6 days ago, 5 days ago? So we're in the phase now where we're actually starting to conceptualize what that international security force would look like. I think it's important for Americans to know a couple of things. Number one, there are not going to be American boots on the ground in Gaza. The President of the United States has made that very clear. All of our military leadership has made that very clear. What we can do is provide some useful coordination. How do you take, the Gulf Arab states, plus Israel, plus plus the Turks, plus the Indonesians, how do you actually get those folks to work together in a way that actually produces long-term peace? The only real mediators are the United States of America. And so that's the role that we're going to play. I think the American people should be proud of it, but they should know that there are going to be no American boots on the ground in Gaza. Sir, in the back. Could you ask the very last part? Well, I'm not going to make any announcements here today. The President of the United States has been very clear about our policy with regards to Iran. It's that he actually wants Iran to be prosperous. He wants to have good relations with the Iranians, but they cannot have a nuclear weapon. And so we're going to keep on using and exhausting every diplomatic means possible to try to ensure that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon. That's our focus, and that will remain our focus for the indefinite future. Let me just leave us with one final thought here. So I've been to Israel once in my entire life. I came for about 36 hours. And as a Christian, I think the world's Christians will know that this country, that this region of the world means a great deal to me. And at some point today, I hope to go, or at some point in the next couple of days, I should say, I hope to go to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which Christians believe is the site that Jesus Christ was crucified in. And I know that Christians have many titles for Jesus Christ, and one of them is the Prince of Peace. And I'd ask all people of faith, in particular my fellow Christians, to pray that the Prince of Peace can continue to work a miracle in this region of the world. I think that we have made incredible strides over the past week. We're going to have to make a lot more, but I think with your prayers, with God's providence, and with a very good team behind me, I think we're going to get it done. Thank you all. Take care.
Bueno, pues escuchábamos al vicepresidente de los Estados Unidos, Vance, en esa base militar de Israel, diciendo precisamente, eso sí, hablando sobre el acuerdo alcanzado entre Israel y Hamás. Decía, el alto al fuego entre Hamás e Israel no ha terminado. El vicepresidente de los Estados Unidos, por lo tanto, que declaraba que el acuerdo de alto al fuego sigue en pie. En declaraciones a la prensa, Vance, como ustedes acaban de escuchar, bueno, pues afirmaba haber observado una actitud extraña en los medios occidentales donde casi se busca el fracaso de este acuerdo importante alcanzado por Donald Trump la semana pasada con las dos partes del conflicto. Decía precisamente Vance, tenemos mucho trabajo por delante todavía, esto va a llevar mucho tiempo. Añadiendo que los funcionarios estadounidenses de su país, bueno, pues han hecho un trabajo increíble hasta el momento y han hecho posible que ambas partes lleguen a un acuerdo de entendimiento. Bueno, pues aparte de eso, de lo que comentaba Vance, también estaba presente, por lo tanto, eso sí, como ustedes saben, en dicho acto, el enviado especial de Estados Unidos a Oriente Medio, Witkoff, y también el asesor principal del presidente de los Estados Unidos, Kushner, y yerno también del presidente Donald Trump, quien afirmaba en dicho acto también que Israel y Hamás están pasando de 2 años, han pasado de 2 años de guerra muy intensa a una postura muy buena de paz. Por lo tanto, la administración americana que remarca una y otra vez la importancia de este acuerdo alcanzado en Oriente Medio entre Israel y Hamás.